Yeah. No, I do audio from time to time. Actually, I don't like doing video for so much. I prefer to do audio, but because the way the game is now, I kind of had to switch over somewhat.
Yeah, I do video. I just nobody cares about me. It's like the guest. That's all that matters. So I'm like, all right, it's fine. All right. And I put the logo, but guest gets to do most of the video, call. Then I say, all right, if you want a copy of it, let me know, and I'll send you a copy of a video file.
Oh yeah, cause now I always say that no one wants to see my ugly mug. They want to see the girls and the
Sure, sure,
guys.
yeah.
Guys.
Not even the guys though. I mean, most of the interviews. It's funny. The lowest people I get are either guys, unfortunately, or
Yeah.
BBWs.
Hmm. So shoot, man. So now we about to start this off like this because
Yep.
we both are podcasters. I had a female. I had two females recently that
Yep.
that I hit up because we talked about how hard it is to get guests for these podcasts. It is a fucking thankless task, smokers.
Oh, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah. So we
Oh
could
my
talk if
god.
you want. We could talk about that. We could talk about what's going on in the industry with the war on porn. How a
Yeah.
lot of girls and even podcasts don't have to worry about their platforms being shut down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And but like I said, with one of the girls, she asked to get paid, which was funny because she
Oh
said, "Is
Jesus,
it?"
yeah,
And she was like, is it virtual or meet? Face to face? Is it a pay difference?" Now I told her exactly this. And my smokers, y'all probably heard the episode by now. 'Cause I discussed it on my Thursday Smoke This Over episode. I said, I don't pay guests and I never will.
yeah. Nobody does
Nobody does.
unless they're in studio and it's sort of like a weekly thing. Like
Yeah.
if Tom Brady gets paid because it's a weekly thing, so it's not a one time. All right, I'm gonna do this. It's
Yeah.
his
But
weekly show, which all right, yeah, I'm getting paid, and it's usually the sponsors take care of that.
yeah. But here's the crazy part. The big podcasts do not pay their guests. The most they do is they have some lick for them, some weed, and some food. And that's
Yeah,
because they're coming to the studio. And they're probably shooting more than one podcast episode that day. So their
yeah,
guests are sitting around waiting for their turn. So you got to keep them motivated. But for some apparent reason, these girls think, ego wise, that their little OnlyFans is bigger than the platforms that we play to. Sorry, ladies, it's not. To me, this man probably get heard by more people than the people that watch you get fucked.
yeah.
What's some of the dumb shit guests done ask your ass? Hello?
Well, I'm here. No, I'm ready. Trust me. It's all right. So let me know when we're recording. We'll start recording right
Oh no,
away.
recording now. I've been recording. I told you I already press record.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. No problem.
Hey,
So yeah, I don't tell you. I mean, unfortunately, because you and I have gone through this, it's like so many people, and I get it. They think, oh, Howard Stern, he come in, everybody's going to pay. It's like, no, Stern did it because you came in, you did stupid tricks, and he recorded it for video. And even then, it was most of the time, it's like, all right, well, here's a gift from something, or here's a gift from the sponsors. But
yeah.
he didn't pay people, and now all of a sudden, it's not just porn people. It's also you're hearing it from I've dealt with it from pro wrestlers. I've dealt with it on my other podcast with
Mhm.
even like YouTube stars. Like no. I no. I've interviewed big name boxers, big name UFC and MMA fighters. They don't ask to get paid. Only this younger generation of people, YouTube, some porn stars. Most of the guests I have are wonderful, but
Yeah.
it's like okay, well we don't get paid. Well, great, but nobody does that.
No, they
You
don't.
try going to any major podcast or even a local radio show. You ask them, oh, we're gonna get paid. We're gonna laugh our ass off and tell you to pound sand.
Yeah. Cause even the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne did not pay none of them guests to come on there. Period. Actually, he probably get paid. Because you from the same generation as me. Radio had payola. Artists had to pay the DJ to get plays and even come on the radio show. Period. I remember that shit back in the day when I was in music. So
now true, and it's look. There's if you're an adult guest, not as I said, there's so many nice people I cannot thank, but
yeah.
Here's the problem. You're not getting put on a lot of channels because there is a war on porn. You can say what you want about, but that's true. There is a lot of platforms that don't want to deal with it. Most sports platforms I've covered MMA events and boxing events, and as soon as they thought, oh, where there's porn on my sports show, they'll tell me, yeah, we got to pull your credentials. We don't want you around. And I have to explain to them, no, it's two separate shows. Or not even not doing that. And it's just, some of these content creators, adult performers have to realize you're not getting put on a lot of platforms. You're going to get a lot of radio stations won't call you. It's just the way it is. And if you ask to get paid, well, good luck. You're not getting any publicity. Nobody will deal with you again.
Yeah. Because even to the point, I recently saw Sarah J was on CNN talking about CBDs. She was a correspondent for it. You got to think how long it took and how much shit she had to do to even get to that point for them to look past the fact that she did porn to put on CNN. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like these porn stars and these content creators take for granted the platform that we provide for them. Because, the other platforms that do bring them on, like Fresh and Fit, they treat them like fucking shocks value. You know what I'm saying? Talk down to them, treat them like they're dumb as fuck. Period. While platforms like me and you, we actually make them seem human. We show them for who they are. Real fucking people that live real lives. They just so happen to do the business. And the platform is hard because even to the point I was on Patreon. I will never go back on that platform ever again.
No, it's true, and you feel bad because, or if they do videos, they're gonna take your top off.
Yeah.
Oh, can you talk? Can you tell us? We've had sex with it. Or hey, were you abused as a child? It's like, and you hear the stories.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as I said, I told my guests here, I'm not here to embarrass you. I'll even give you, let me know what you want to talk about. We will not talk about it. Is there anything you don't want me to bring up? I won't bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want me to promote, we'll promote. And as I said, I've been blessed to have people like Sherry DeVille, Angelina Castro, Ava Devine, even crap. We've had Ebony Mystique because we don't ask the stupid questions. We don't make fun of what they do. This is a serious interview. We ask serious questions. We ask probing questions, and I'm not here to embarrass people because I get it. Nobody wants to be embarrassed. Nobody wants to feel like they're a sideshow. Nobody wants to feel like they're a parody of who they are.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. So give me 1 second. Hello, smokers. How y'all doing? No, this ain't video because he don't feel like open up the camera, and neither do I. So with that being said, welcome to the Smokers Lounge. I'm your host, Kavanaugh, the Southern Champ, a.k.a. the Porn Rap Star. You know what it is. Find all my links with one link, allmylinks.com/Porn Rap Star. Let me tell you about 4 sponsors that we love so dearly and been with us for a nice long time. The first one being the Facebook, the LS community, lasworld.com. Next up, the hottest adult magazine in the game, eroticismmagazine.com. After that, 90% profit for you content creators that's looking for a place to put your content, no hashtag issues, and for your consumers, a new place for you to consume your XXX content. I'm talking about the one and only excitebunny.com. And last but not least, award-winning, award-nominated, we're talking about smut with voiceover, and they even have virtual reality on their website. I'm talking about Blush Erotica. So go get yourself a subscription at blusherotica.com. Proud member of the GW District Black Podcasting Network. So go over to shopgwdistrict.com and go buy something from over 500 Black-owned retailers and shops. Also, like my man here, who is a fellow member of the same place I'm at, every morning, go over to fullyswapradio.com 5 days a week. Check me out as I talk with the brightest and hottest talent in the business as we give you that real smoke about the industry. Also, check me out on SkyhawkAfterDarkTV.com as well, the BGP LLC app. So I'm going to step back and let this man, who I love his work, I love his podcast, and I love talking to other podcasts, especially those in the same field as me, especially men, because women kind of dominate our shit. But we're making a name and we're coming up. I'm going to sit back and let him introduce himself. Go ahead, sir.
If you listen here, this is the After Hours podcast. My official name, which I don't tell anybody here, it's Mark Hollister. So it's, you can now say that here. That's the name that we go by here on the After Hours. And yep, for the first time here, I'm doing a podcast with the Smokers Lounge, because usually as my co-host here, the lovely Dina Anderson joins us once in a while. We have Fallon West. We just got Abby Rose and Jossie Jackson are all sometimes will stop by, help me out with the interview. So this is weird for me. It's now my turn to talk, and then my co-hosts are like, "Oh yeah, well, you can do it." And so I'm glad Joe of Smokers Lounge, because you know what, you've had some of my guests on, and they've raved about you, from Miss Secrets to the very beautiful Amanda Thicke. Yeah, great job getting her, and even I was looking here. You've had July. I'm impressed. I like your show, so I'm glad you're doing great, because when there's people even like Annie Allen Poe who say good things about you, you're going places.
Oh yeah, and I've heard many great things about you. Omari Rebel hit me up and said, "You need to have After Hours Radio on your show." I said, "I hit him up."
So here's a question I'm going to ask you, because you've been going through this, and you and I have both talked about this off air.
Yeah.
It's not just now, the adult performers, also the content, creators, also of people like us. It seems that we have to worry now every time, like YouTube will say, "Oh yeah, this, you got to take this down. She's showing cleavage," even though there's pasties, or, "Hey, you got to take this down. This is considered an obscene image," even though the woman's fully dressed. And it's getting worse. I mean, it's almost sometimes like, "Oh yeah, this was a violation. We got to give you a warning," even though it's like, wait a minute here. You have people on YouTube who are getting like shot, and yet that video is still up. My video is getting taken down because there's some boobs.
Mm-hmm. Shoot, man. Put it this way, I've had my shit pushed just off of the cover alone. They automatically tag it as adult, to where once you be tagged as an adult, you don't really get on the algorithm for YouTube too easily. Period. Monetization. Now, this is the funny part. At first, I had the intro to the show as my song "Dummy," the song called "Dummy." They demonetized the shit, but I own the music. Hit them up numerous times to get those videos, to where they can be demonetized. They can be monetized, and they don't never hit you back. And I'm sitting here like, you see that it's Catalog of Southern Champ. The music is actually on my page, on my actual YouTube page, and you still sit here and say, "No, but you don't own the rights to it." How the fuck I own the rights to it? And motherfucker, it's my song. Period. And then, like I said, with Patreon, because I wanted to do a subscription side of the podcast, and I tried Patreon, they wouldn't let me use any. I couldn't even post the girl's Twitter page. Period. And even though it's behind a paywall, they wouldn't let me show no tits, no shit like that. And then the sad part about all this is that, I wasn't even doing video with Patreon. This was audio. I wasn't even doing video yet. And they were flagging me. So what I ended up doing was going to Spotify. And I'm slowly finding out that Spotify is a little bit looser than any of the other platforms. I can get away with certain things, but I also, the stuff I get away with, I put behind my paywall. So thank you to Spotify. Now, how long that would last, I don't know, because I have been flagged once. I have been flagged once for a girl using demonstrating on a dildo. And they're about to get tested again because my wonderful co-host, Big Jordan, decided she wanted to work with a dildo again in her mouth. So I'm curious to see how they're gonna fall or what have you. But yeah, it just I always say this: as much as we sit here and say that we're supposed to be progressive as a country, no, we're not. We're fucking conservative as fuck.
I don't tell you. I mean, look, I feel bad because I've had that happen with not the sex part, but I've had my other podcast where you're interviewing fighters and they'll just drop they'll drop an F bomb. They'll drop a motherfucker, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like that on all of a sudden, oh, this is gonna be adult content. You gotta put the adult. You gotta have a warning. It's like, wait a minute here. I can't control this, especially when it's a live fight or a
Yeah.
live interview, which you've been to those parts where you're trying to do a live video. Next thing you know, it's like, oh crap, anything goes, anything happens, and you can't control it. So it's getting worse, and you hate to say it here with YouTube, with Apple and Google, but
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like you need to almost have your own private website.
Yeah, because even to me, it's like even when I sit there and think about it, when I look at like the different podcasts that I actually watch and I follow, and I kind of learn from these podcasts. It's like one, I always mention Mandy B, and I keep saying Mandy B. People don't realize they underscore how much of a foremother she is to what we do. Period. Because her and Weezy was doing the sexual podcast when there was no lane for that shit. You feel what I'm saying? And to me, they wasn't even what I noticed when they were interviewing dominatrix, they were interviewing everybody about sexuality, but you wasn't seeing a lot of porn stars being interviewed. Period. And to me, people in because I'm a former porn star myself, retired. We need a platform to tell our stories. Because when you had OnlyFans pop off, you had motherfuckers thinking this shit was easy, thinking they could just jump into this business. And part of the reason why, because nobody was talking about how to get into the business the right way. Period. And I think that's where we come in. Because even with some of these spaces, some of these motherfuckers on the spaces don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
It is, and I don't think people understand like how much goes into what they do, how they put it together. The money that goes into it. I mean, you talk to some of these people who like Booty and Beast, Miss Peach,
Yeah.
or Subgirl, and they're talking like, "Hey, we spend big money on the cameras, on the lighting. We had to find locations where it's Airbnb. We gotta,
Mm-hmm.
get tested. All of a sudden, every 2 weeks, we have to take care, coordinate our own travel, and all of a sudden, people start realizing, oh yeah, you want quality content because that's what most people want. They're not gonna purchase crap.
Yeah.
It costs. It not just costs, but also it's the time, the effort, the editing, the finding the right camera person or
Mm-hmm.
doing it yourself, and making sure there's probably 2 or 3 cameras, and all of a sudden, all these people want to get into porn don't realize like, oh yeah, this is a business. This isn't just you know
Mm-hmm.
playing grab ass and having sex. No, this is a full on business, and you have to spend money to make money. And you have to literally make sure that you have a system where everything is documented, everything is logged in, that the paperwork is scanned, that you have multiple platforms because hey, once again, war on porn. Your Instagram might get shut down, Twitter might get shut down. Hey,
Shit, they shut
you got to have
people off of
backups. Yeah.
OnlyFans. They kicking people off of OnlyFans because just from like the tweets I've been seeing, they just come up with any reason to demonetize these girls' platforms on OnlyFans. Period. And I've been told everybody, OnlyFans still think that they got a chance to go public as a company because that's their goal to go public on Wall Street. That's what they want to do.
Oh,
You know?
their goals even bigger. They've now that and I said this to a couple of content creators.
Mm-hmm.
Once WWE got sold to Endeavor,
Yeah.
I think OnlyFans went that this is our ticket now because now, and this is what people I think a lot of performers don't get is that you have UFC fighters on OnlyFans, you have actors on OnlyFans, you have workout models. If they get that, now all the UFC and WWE, that's their big ticket. That's what they want to get. They want to. It's like when you move to moving up to the east side. That's what OnlyFans wants. They want to be known as reputable. And
Yeah.
I've had several models tell me, yeah, we go to these conventions and OnlyFans is not there. There's no representation. You never
No.
see any executives there. It's basically, yeah, we'll take your money, but sort of the embarrassment almost. Like they feel like OnlyFans is getting more and more embarrassed to have porn on their platform. But they don't want to give up money yet. But once the big money comes, they'll dump it.
Which is
yeah.
the funny part about this because I made it, which is funny, right? Because it's funny how as much as OnlyFans are trying to push away the sex workers, they embrace the IG models who do sex work. And the reason why the IG models more of them are starting to do the sex work shit, because they figured out there ain't no money in being an influencer. There ain't no money in being an IG model. There ain't no money in being a TikToker. The money is having that OnlyFans and busting it open with them paywalls. That's why you see, because I done been to conventions. The last couple of years, the first time that I've been hearing that females, cosplayers, we're not talking about strippers, dominatrix. No, cosplayers, motherfucker that you would see at Comic-Con getting booths at Exotica. Why? You get what I'm saying? Because we still make money off direct buy. We're still the one genre that still make money off direct buy. Hell, rappers don't even make money off direct buy anymore.
True, I agree, but and yet you see them time and time again. They just, and it's not even what they'll do. They'll have I mean, there was a young lady we had, Lisa Lee, who said, "Look, I got suspended because I had somebody ask me to meet them up with me on OnlyFans. I didn't encourage it. I told him this is just a business, but he asked anyway, and next thing you know, I was suspended for a week and threatened with having my entire OnlyFans taken down. There have been other girls who've said the same thing, like, "Hey, we will warn people what's going on. We'll tell them, hey, do not ask to meet up with us. Do not ask us to shoot a scene or to do a FFan because OnlyFans will shut them down, and without warning, they'll take their money."
Yeah.
This is the new. I think right now you have to go with Fansly if you're an adult performer because OnlyFans is just looking for an excuse. It could be something minor, it could be something small. They're looking for an excuse to basically just kick people off.
And see, too, also people don't realize how much OnlyFans devalued the porn star. And it began with Miss B Nasty. They pumped her up big time. You know, and the sad part about that is because I made a comment about how she does her Titty Tuesdays thread. And I said, wait a second. I said, y'all ladies who are porn stars who complain about the content creators will sit there and go on a content creators thread and post your shit on there. You basically, what's what I'm looking for? You're legitimizing what the fuck she's doing. You know what I'm saying? And this is a female who actually has trashed the porn business. Funny how now she decides she wants to do the porn business, but she was trashing it at first. Misleading ladies, having them thinking that all you gotta do is have a dildo. You don't need a dick. You don't need a dude. You know, period. And to me, then next up, Jimmy Smack. Jimmy Smack just so happened lucked up, got a video with Selena Powell that made him that millions. You feel what I'm saying? Which I heard on the low, they paid him $1 million. But I digress. You feel me? But the point being is, do you think, I told people this, he lives in Atlanta. You know how many mother rappers been getting killed, dudes been getting robbed and all that in Atlanta? You think this dude want everyone to know he made $1 million off of OnlyFans? Who put that out there? OnlyFans. They released that shit. Period. When when her name Belle Thorne, whatever her name is, when she made $1 million. If you notice, it always when someone makes $1 million, it's always hit the news. It always hit the news. Blac Chyna, they said she made 25 million. She correctly said only made 2 million. But she didn't put out there that she made 25 million. OnlyFans did. Why? To get some of these regular smuggler motherfuckers to come on OnlyFans to gain more traction, to gain more money. Period. Because I even listened to Melissa Ford. For everyone that know who she is, she's gorgeous. She doing foot fetish.
I get it. Trust me, I understand, but it's a different time now. Yeah. And as you mentioned before, OnlyFans wants the big. They want the big bucks. They want the people who are reputable. Like you look around, and yes, there's a lot of porn stars on OnlyFans, and that's great. Mm-hmm. But you start looking around, and you start noticing like there's a lot of other people. Yeah. Like Sean O'Malley is on OnlyFans. That's a guy who's going to be fighting for a UFC bantamweight title. You have The Rock is on OnlyFans. You Dwayne Johnson. You have comedians. You have surfers like Kelly Slater. Mm-hmm. And those are the people that they're looking to go, well, once we get more of those, we can get the real big bucks. We can get Warner Brothers. We can get Marvel. We can get because that's what everybody wants. Yeah. You don't want the content creators who are individuals, but are not going to sink big money because they don't have that kind of money. Mm-hmm. You want the companies because the companies will pay for several different sites, several different platforms, several different movie onlys like the Eternals, Captain America. That's the big money. And I feel bad because, as I said, I think a lot of adult performers are very smart. I think they're very creative. I know they are. But I think I think a lot of them have a blind spot for thinking, oh, they won't, we won't be kicked off of OnlyFans. OnlyFans needs us. Like, no. They're starting to realize they can do better in terms of bigger bucks. And if they have to get rid of porn, they'll get rid of porn as soon as they can get those bigger companies to jump on board. And I think that will happen within the next year or so.
I'm going to tell you, Joe Budden said it best. When celebrities hit the platform, it changes the platform. We saw this with podcasting. When more celebrities started doing podcasting, it changed the game. Period. Same thing here. And I told everybody, I said, I go back to Miss B Nasty. Because Miss B Nasty became popularized, one of the things she used to do was she used to post how much she made. This other young dude who I found out was a rapper who had the song Juju with the Beat, that the name Zay Hilfiger. He doing the same thing Miss B Nasty doing. He posted how much he made. He's sitting here asking people, who wants $2K? Who wants $500? Hit my thread, period. What ended up happening was them celebrities who was following Miss B Nasty saw how much she was making with OnlyFans and said, well, damn, if this no-name bitch can make this much, how much could I make and I got a bigger name? That would happen. Because celebrities weren't thinking about OnlyFans. They weren't even trying to do OnlyFans until they saw the sex workers and saw how they were getting off. And I tell anybody, which is the honest to God, which is very true, when these celebrities ain't making money, guess what they do? They go to sex tape shit to get that buzz, to get that viral moment, and to make that money. Period. Because it's funny, Sukihana does the same thing as the porn stars. She ain't get this monetized. They ain't booted her off because she's a big time celeb. You know what I'm saying?
I do. And there's still, I think, as I said, there's a lot of performers who still just keep on going back to Hollywood, keep on going back to Netflix and going, oh, they'll change. And you can even ask Sherry DeVille. Mm-hmm. They, she was very, happy with, and I use the word quote happy with the Netflix porn, documentary. But even she said, "Hey, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. There was stuff they could have gone into." So you have to be careful. And
Yeah.
as soon as somebody says anything controversial, or or publicizes or says how great the industry is, you can ask Sherry DeVille. They will come after you. They will come after you. They'll come after your family. And because at the end of the day, and this is the end of the day, all these mainstream companies still view porn as, well, it's dirty. Well, it's full of abuse. Well, these girls are getting these sort of sold into it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rashida Jones. Look at what Netflix did with Rashida Jones in her documentary. It was basically just one sort of accusing Husky models and everybody in the industry of, like, yeah, they're creeping on girls. They're recruiting them. They're looking after going after little kids and everything. I mean, that was just pure on a hate fuck from mainstream to porn. Going, yep, we really don't want to think much of you guys. We're gonna let everybody know how bad your industry is.
Yeah, because it's the point. Like, for example, I watched the Mia Khalifa interview a while back, she is hilarious to me. And it's funny. I done seen Mia Khalifa umpteen times. She comes on there like she's about to go to church. Like, literally, like, she looks like she's about to go to church. She don't look. I'm talking about the shirt buttoned up to the neck, dude. You feel me? Dragging porn. And she had a big platform. But like you said, if anyone like a Sarah J that comes on and says porn is great and talk about all the great things that porn did for her, oh, they have a hissy fit. They have a hissy fit. You know what I'm saying? Period. Because I even remember when Stormy Daniels, when they talked about Stormy Daniels, Don Lemon, yeah, he went with a lady who lay on her back for a living. I'm like, really, Don? Really, Don? I'm talking about everyone had some. Forget the fact that the former president was fucking cheating on his wife with her ass. Y'all more concerned about the fact she used to do porn. Y'all more concerned about the fact she did porn. Not about the fact that Donald Trump cheated on his wife. No. We don't care about that. Stormy Daniels, porn star. I'm sitting there like, really? That's why I said, to me, it's like porn is normalized to watch, but it's not normalized to be in. Hands down. And to me, that's crazy, because if you look in the United States Employment Guide, guess what one of the professions they have listed? Adult film actor and actress. We pay taxes on this shit, but yet they don't consider it legitimate.
What I find funny is that and I believe this is more of Hollywood. You look at how they look bad on porn, and yes, fine, I understand. It's not everybody's cup of tea. Does it have issues? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But you're talking Hollywood, which has had a parade of history of, when you think of it, child abuse, domestic violence. The Me Too movement started because of them. Oh, by the way, none of those agents ever got brought up on charges. That's something that, if you're a young lady, you should really think about. That the CAAs, the big agencies, all of them. No, they were the ones funneling these women to Harvey Weinstein. These are the ones, WME, William Morris Agency. They were sending them to all these, as they call them, predators. Yeah. And yet, not one agent got accused. And the one who did, a guy who Terry Crews said, molested him.
Yeah.
Terry Crews got blackballed. The other guy kept his job. So that shows you how seedy Hollywood is in terms of, they have more problems than porn when you think of it.
Yeah. Actually, if you want to be honest, the casting couch came from Hollywood, not porn. But you hear the narrative, it was in porn first. No, it wasn't. They were doing the casting couch back in the 1950s and the 30s. Stop playing. Stop playing. And like I said, they always, it's like, because we fuck for a living on camera, we get ostracized. But yet, Hollywood, if you look at their scenes, it's pornographic. They just don't show the penetration. Because it was important. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, here's I want to switch gears here because this is something that's been brought to my attention from a lot of people on the porn. But one thing I think that bothers a lot of people, and that is sort of these stigmas of, oh, I'm a porn star, they're a content creator, and it's and I bring that up because two of the nicest people we've had on our show, Peach and Subgirl.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves working with them. Everybody loves interacting with them. Mm-hmm. And yet there are, as they said, they've gotten hate, like pure hate from other porn stars because, oh, you guys are having sex with all these people. You are, I mean, you see it. You probably see it better more than I do because you've been in this industry longer than I have. But
yeah,
do you find it ironic that, the content creators are getting blamed for, a lot of stuff,
mm-hmm.
and yet the swingers, the content creators, they test as normal as most girls. They do, they basically are doing everything by the book, and yet they're still blamed and treated like, oh, well, you're dirty.
Well, see, it's because, okay, I'm gonna break it down to you. Strap in, smokers. I'm about to give it to you. The reason why the issue with the content creators, Subgirl and Peaches, is not the issue. The problem is that they're paying for other people's sins. The issue is you have these people that are content creators who had trash porn stars. You get where I'm coming from? But yet do what we do and don't want to claim it. That's where the issue comes in. Plus, a lot of them, especially on the men's side, are not professional and very predatorial. You feel me? Because the simple fact of that, don't get it twisted, you do have people in the industry that are porn stars that are predatorial. That is true. There's always been that in the history of porn. But it became more prevalent when OnlyFans became popular and the average motherfucker was able to get into the business. I came in at a time where you had to be groomed into the business as a male. You just couldn't just grab a camera and start filming and say and have an OnlyFans. Because when I came in the game, there was only three sites that a content creator, which we call an amateur porn star or a pro amateur porn star or porn producer. We didn't call them content creators. The reason why they started saying content creator because content creators sound a little bit better than porn star. Actually, I said this before. I don't want to make anybody cringe. Porn star is a new nigga because people don't want to say porn star no more. I'm a content creator. When the next question is going to be asked, what type of content you do? Period. But I digress. The problem is that the content creators, these guys who sit here with these cell phones, want to hit these ladies up and film with them. They're not experienced. They never worked in front of a camera before, and it's muddying up the industry. That's why. It's not the women, but so much. The only issue I have with women is when women sit here talk about deposits. There's no deposits in porn. You don't get paid before you do a shoot. That don't work. It never has, never will. Period. I despise the term paid content trade. There's no such thing. If we're doing content trade or I'm paying you for the fucking scene, we're not doing both. Or we'll do a combination. We shoot one scene that I pay you for, and then we shoot a second scene that's content that you get the copies for. I'm not going to pay you for a scene and give you the copy of the scene that I just gave you. That's something that content creators brought into the business. Period. Because of the simple fact that a lot of these girls were escorts, bringing escort trade into the porn business, not the same business. You get what I'm saying? That's the reason why.
I get what you're saying, but
Go ahead.
I understand, but I'd say there's also this stigma where, and maybe this goes back to the days of Digital Playground and
Yeah.
Vivid, where you had to look a certain way because we
Mhm.
saw this also with, and maybe, and there's look, some of them, if you were Belladonna, you got away with it because she was
Yeah.
so lovable and she was somebody who radiates sex appeal that everybody liked working with her. But
Yeah.
but it's always been, oh, she has too many tattoos. She's kind of hard. She's kind of hard looking. Oh,
Yeah.
she's a bit thick. Oh, she's probably a bit not what we're looking for.
Mhm.
And I think that's what hurts some of these swingers, some of these people like Peach
Yeah.
and Subgirl, is that they don't look the part where most people would in porn, which is either super, that Barbie doll pinup model look,
Yeah.
or that teen, you look barely 18 look.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I think that, and people judge. And as I said, it's funny. Oh, they're doing such and such. Peach and Subgirl doing these gangbangs. These guys aren't tested. You'll hear that from people who are screwing celebrities, under the
Mhm.
table,
Mhm.
escorting privately. Not sure if they're getting tested or not. We're not sure if their partners are, but hey, it's those damn dirty swingers and content creators. So look, unfortunately, this is porn. It's like a
Yeah.
lot like high school. There are cliques, there are circles. It's
Mhm.
certain people won't work with other people, and you just look and go, it's just sad. Because that to me, that's one of the biggest reasons why porn does not have a union. You couldn't get these people at a table to agree on pizza, let alone getting a union and organizing it.
Yeah, because it was the point, like, because like this, it would, to me, content creators, like I said, was back in the day, I was what we considered a content creator, but we called it, like I said, pro am, pro am star. That means you was an amateur. So people, I can break this down for people. If you wasn't working for an ABN company, you was automatically considered an amateur. In order to be a pro, you had to be ABN certified. That means you shot with an ABN company, you did the little TTS, you went to Hollywood. Period. People that shot in New York, people that shot in such as like BBW Highway, Busty Baby Dolls, even before it was Plumber Pass, it was sensational videos. They were considered amateur. You know what I'm saying? Period. But the thing about it was the thought process was, like I said again, Hollywood itself knew this was coming. They knew the content creator era was coming. So they were doing everything to try to stop it. That where the tube sites came in. Mighty fucking funny, Pornhub got hot. Guess who made it hot? The major porn companies. Porn companies didn't give a fuck about being bootleg because look how much they film. Who cared about being bootleg? The amateurs. You feel what I'm saying? That's why all these tube sites came up. People don't realize how much the Vivid, the Wicked, the Playboy, the Hustlers played a big part in trying to keep the amateur porn star from gaining any traction. Period. But then eventually, Pornhub needed to make money. Some of these sites tube sites had to make money. That's when they started to allow the content creator to make money through video sharing and then eventually actually straight up direct buy. Period. Because I tell everybody the downfall of porn began with Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson. The reason why I can divide the porn star, because soon as Red Light District made a fucking $1 million off that shit, guess who was next? Vivid, Ray J and Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton. I can go down the list. Because porn is a copycat business. They look at what the next company doing successful and then they copy it. Period. That's the reason why Brazzers decided they wanted to start doing BBWs now. And guaranteed if they continue to do BBWs and it makes money, you're going to see other major companies follow suit. Period. They tried to do the transgender shit. That didn't make no money. Because ain't nobody going to Brazzers to watch transgender. to keep it 100. Period. So it's kind of like the big porn companies made their own hell with this because they made the content creator error. You feel me? Because when you had celebrities, now granted, yes, it was Pamela Lee and it was Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson, but they weren't porn stars. You get what I'm saying? And they made more money than the porn stars with that movie. Same thing with Ray J and Kim Kardashian. And when you saw that happen, now the porn star is losing their stigma. They're not bigger than life anymore. Because you know it and I know it. You remember, I can't think of the name, something up. The porn stars we grew up with, we revered them like they were big time Hollywood stars. We looked at them like that. Even with Jenna Jameson. Jenna Jameson, bigger than life. Who else was it back in the day? Katie Morgan, same thing. You feel what I'm saying? But then when you start seeing AKA civilians doing porn, it made the average motherfucker say, I can do it. You can't have a business where you have Indians becoming the chiefs. You got to have some Indians. You got to have people that's willing to buy, not people that's willing to be the people that made the product. You know what I'm saying? And then as porn became more normalized, it lost its taboo. When it loses its taboo, guess what happens? The money suffers. Because we made more money back in the day doing less than these motherfuckers making now with the rate that they putting out scenes. Straight up. They want no discounts when I came in the game. They want no such thing. Now you got motherfuckers with free subscriptions. Really? You basically telling your fan base that your shit ain't worth being paid for. Hey, how y'all doing? And I am Kavanaugh, the Southern Champ, a.k.a. the porn rap star, and the host of Smoke This Over, the Smokers Lounge. Hey, you looking to start your podcast career, or you a podcaster that's looking to move to a new provider that can give you everything that you need because the other one just ain't working? I got you. Smoke This Over. Check out Spotify for podcasters. That's right, Spotify for podcasters. Spotify done got serious about their podcasting. And now here's your chance to take advantage of it. What's the benefit, you ask? Well, one, you get distributed to all the top podcast platforms. Plus, on top of that, you can upload audio or even video. And yes, Spotify has video. And you're looking for a place to make money with your content? Look no over here. Because not only do they have advertiser ads that you can make money with, ambassador ads as they call it, also you can set up your own subscription-based side of your podcast or even set up a fundraiser or donations. So yeah, you can make money with your podcast. Also, check out my podcast, STO The Smokers Lounge, which I drop almost every other day, and also subscribe to the Premium Smoke Room. 5 premium podcasts for you to enjoy for $4.99 a month. You can't beat that with a stick. It gets more provocative. It gets more wilder. It gets more crazy. Tits might come out. Dildos might come out. But you don't know unless you subscribe. Because what? The best smoke is always premium. Smoke that over.
Want to stay up to date on the biggest stories in pop culture and entertainment? Then be sure to check out the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton from TMZ, the TV show, and every day I'll sit down with a member of our news team to give exclusive breakdowns of the day's most talked about headlines, stories we break, and the stories you care about. So check out the TMZ podcast, Monday through Friday, and the other podcasts from the TMZ audio network like Last Days and TMZ Verified, available on all podcast platforms.
This episode is brought to you by Jarrow Formulas. Say probiotics, and you think of gut health, right? But did you know our vaginas could benefit from probiotics too? Jarrow Formulas Femdophilus has 2 strains native to a woman's body, 1 billion CFUs, and is clinically studied to help balance yeast. So if your vagina is feeling a bit out of whack, try Femdophilus. Shop Jarrow Formulas, JARROW Women's Probiotic at Amazon. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I'll also point out this, and I know it's an unpopular opinion. Publicly, nobody wants to say it, but privately, people are saying it here.
Yeah.
The Perv family storylines, I think, have gotten out of control. And I get it.
Yeah.
The analytics, but you look back in the day when, porn was big and you had scripts, you had comedy, you had everything here. Now it's almost like, well, Tosh Nice she's not young enough to be a teen, but we can have her as a MILF, even though she's not even the age to say, oh yeah, she's old enough to have an 18-year-old. I mean, she's early 30s at best, maybe. I don't see her as somebody going, oh yeah, well, she could be a hot MILF. It's like, no. It's gotten lazy. And now you have, the daddy, daughter thing. And it's you look at porn and I hate to say it, content creators at least are more creative. But you look at porn now, it's like, okay, well, it's the same, tired trope. It is stepmom and son or hot teacher. There is no creativity. It's the same damn thing. It's there's no longer these big even productions.
Yeah, I think it is. Porn lost its cinematic roots. Straight up. When I was in the business, when I got in the business, up until 2014, we was filming to make DVDs. Now they're filming to make clips and go viral. That's what they do now. It used to be a time where you want your scene to be 20, 25 minutes. Now motherfuckers just doing 6 minutes and mailing it in. That's on the content creator side and the professional side, damn near. Period. I said the biggest mistake that was made was when it was okay to film porn with your goddamn phone. They fucked up the game with that.
That's gonna be the question coming forward. Because look, I'm gonna say this here. I am trying to get into content creative business later on, and one of the things I want to do, I want to bring scenes back where there's actually role play, where there is I'll call it ad lib, improv, where it's actually there are characters. This is unique. You can actually make it to a series, because that's what Netflix has done. People like to say, oh, it's clip, and yet the hottest shows still are 45-minute shows, hour-long shows on Netflix, which is Wednesday, or The Umbrella Academy, or Jack Ryan. Why is that? It's creative. It's people like, this has a script. This has creativity. This is something where we can sink our teeth into, and not just stupidity.
Yeah, because it was to the point, like, I had this conversation with one of my guests. We talked about public sex. It used to be a time where you didn't see a lot of public sex videos. Now every other motherfucker got one, and it's getting worse. I'm like, I sit here and watch the girl fucking Macy's, people. Macy's. On the couch that you probably was going to buy. That's why I say the stuff that we consider taboo is no longer taboo. That's the reason why porn has become more now extreme and heading to more extremism. Because the stuff that was sublime that you didn't see, that was rare, you see all the time now. So now we done got desensitized to it.
So how do you fix it? That's going to be a quick question, because if there is a war on porn, I think everyone thinks, oh, it's a Republican thing. This isn't big. No. You got to pay attention and notice. There are a lot of people who are getting tired of the adult industry and just its issues. And the porn family, I think, is a big one. I think as you said, the public sex is a big one. Yeah. I think that they've looked around and went, okay, y'all
doing too much.
Still have y'all young girls in here that are barely 18 years old. Things have changed.
Yeah. See, the way it changed is, like I said, we got to get back to the cinematic roots. We got to get back to telling stories, not just stepmom, stepdad, and all that stuff. I get the fetishes. That's nice. But we gotta get back to the cinematic roots where we actually told a fucking story. It was an actual fucking movie. I said this myself. I said, we don't make, how hard is it for them to make a movie and you can put it on your OnlyFans or put it on your Pornhub, an actual feature-length porn movie. Even the major companies don't even do feature-length porn movies no more. They clip that bitch up. Like I remember watching Black Widow XXX. I'm thinking that, you know, I'm going to see a full movie. No, I see a clip. I see a 20-minute clip of a sex scene with the role play of it. I was like, huh? You know what I'm saying? It's like I saw porn go through the parody moments where they were doing all the parodies. You know, Sanford and Son, not my Triple X, not Sanford and Son, not Sanford and Son Triple X. The Cosby Show and all that. It's like we lost our creativity. Like one of the porns that I used to love, Cinemax After Dark, Young Lady Chatterley. One of my favorite porns of all time. Told a story. A housewife married to a lord of a manor who fucks everybody. And it was creative as fuck. It even had God Bless the Dead, the old Batman in the bitch. He never got no pussy, but he was in the movie. You know, period. I had the pleasure of talking to Kelly Richardson, you know, a legend in this business. And it was funny because one of my favorite porn movies was The Oriental Anal Express. She was the Indian girl getting fucked in the ass in the movie. I watched the whole movie. It was an actually good fucking movie. You know, period. They actually played it to the hilt like it was The Oriental Express. It just had sex. Oh, and the sex scene only lasted 7 minutes. But back in the day, you thought it was 20. Because we told good stories back then. They don't tell stories now. Like you said, they mail it in. And the reason why they mail it in is because you have the content creators that's coming in, that's seeing what the porn star is doing, and they figured, somewhat seeing what the porn stars are doing, and what they're doing is the easiest side of it. You feel what I'm saying? You know, period. Like, for example, you have a couple. They don't fuck nobody else but themselves. Instead of them coming up with different scenarios to where where you can't even tell it's the husband. It could be he's the Uber driver, the guy next door. Shit, here y'all can go as far as do like the Wizard of Oz type shit. No, I'm sucking his dick while he's playing Call of Duty. I'm sucking his dick while watching the game. It's kind of like it. The creativity left because the game got so saturated, and that the viral TikTok porn overtook the cinematic porn that we was filming. Because even to the point that, cause I said this a long time ago, I said people don't film to make legendary shit, they film for the moment. Why back in the day we filmed because we want scenes that was going to stand the test of time. They just want a viral moment so they can blow up. Because they saw what happened to Kim Kardashian after she sucked Ray J's dick and she became a billionaire. Everybody want to be Kim. Now they want to be Miss B Nasty. Yeah. And I'm a firm believer that when the cell phone became the way that you film and not an actual camera, it changed the way of how we distribute, promote, push, and make money with our content. Because think about this. Think about everything you said. How much money these girls got to spend to do the scene. But then you turn right around and put it on OnlyFans for a free subscription. Or you do a discount all year, the first 30 spots for $3. So you done spent all this money to film this shit, but then you're gonna sell the bitch for $3. Make it make sense, people. Make it make sense.
So here's the last question I have for you, and that's
Go ahead.
there. I know that there's been some performers who've done a fantastic job.
Mhm.
Ebony Mystique, Misty
Yeah.
Stone.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of black performers who still say that this industry does not do enough for black females.
Man,
How
they
do you
don't
fix
overdo,
it?
they don't
And-
overdo
and-
black on black porn hardly no more, dog. Straight up. Ever since interracial became king, shit, who you think suffered the most? The black woman. Black BBW is the worst. So yeah, when interracial became king, which once again, interracial back in the day was a rarity. You didn't see interracial porn that much. You either saw white on white or black on black. Very rarely you saw interracial. You feel me? That's why Sarah J became the queen, because she was one of the few girls that was actually doing interracial porn before interracial porn was actually a thing. When interracial porn came in, guess what? Now, guess what died? Black on black porn. The only way you're gonna see black on black porn is in the independents. Because if you go look at Brazzers, I don't see too much black on black porn. It's interracial. Even if it's a black girl, she's with a white dude. See? And when they start characterizing porn, it changed the game and hurt the game. Because how old are you, brother?
I'm in my 40s now, so trust me, I understand. I remember the days of Ace of Angels.
Remember, porn we came up with, there was no such thing as interracial porn, BBW porn, black on black porn, none of that. It was porn. I asked the question, I said, well, y'all call black on black porn ebony. Y'all call interracial. So what do you call white on white porn?
Just regular porn, I guess.
Bingo. That's my point. So it's funny how they did the category. Now, I know why they did the categorizations, because the smaller indie companies needed a way to make money with their DVDs. So guess what they did? They created genres. BBW genre, big butt genre, interracial genre, anal genre. You feel what I'm saying? We had anal sex back in the day. They just didn't make a whole DVD around it. It was just a part of the damn scene. See? That's why I said to me, the major companies hurt the business. And it just trickled. And then what OnlyFans did was just put the nail in the coffin. It put the nail in the coffin. Because to me, it was kind of like, we now make porn for algorithms with the hashtags and all that shit. I remember a time when I was in the business, we made actual trailers. Have you seen the actual trailer lately?
Can't say I have. Then again, outside of Wicked, how many true production companies do you see? Like, all right, we make big budget, films.
Yeah. They don't. Because what ended up happening when DVDs died out, the big budget film died out. Funny how it died out in porn. No other genre but porn. Yeah. Because it's funny, I never forget Julia Sands. I hit her up to want to work with her. She looked at my shit and said, become a real porn company, shooting the mansion. Little did she know how the game was going to change after she said what she said. No one shoots in the mansion. They shoot in the Airbnb or hotel now. They don't shoot big budget. Hell, they don't even do role play anymore. It's just straight up, straight fucking. Actually, females don't even wear heels no goddamn more, dog. Every time I look up, they barefooted like a motherfucker. I remember you couldn't even see a porn without a girl wearing heels. Yeah.
How much is also, you also got to factor in, though, you need to have a better name. I mean, if you're going to the porn, you can't have now, like, a cheesy name. You can no longer have, a name, but because you want to be, if you're shooting for a brand, if you're shooting for a big company, they want to portray a certain image.
Yeah.
Like Heather Hunter, that's a classy name. That's a name you can sell. If you have a name like, Butter or Skittles, that's not going to scream like, oh yeah, we got Cass Scroll. I mean, it sucks and it's terrible, but there's a reason why the top black performers are Ebony Mystique, Avery Jane, Misty Stone. Those are sort of sexy
names,
feminine, beautiful names.
Because you want to know why? These women nowadays don't think about marketability. They don't think about marketability outside of porn. Because, for example, Stoya, one of the biggest names, she ended up, doing the Entourage? How many porn stars went on to do actual movies in Hollywood? Part of that was because of their name. Part of that because they knew how to market themselves to where they can step outside of porn. These girls don't know how to market themselves. They'll ever sit here and call themselves throat god, throat queen. One chick called herself Not My Equal. That is not a fucking porn name. I'm like, shoot. I mean, I ain't even go front. What? Pinky. I mean, you could say Pinky, but I mean, Pinky knew how to market herself to where that name became marketable. So like Cherokee the Ass. You feel me? But some of these ladies here,
And let's face it, you either love her or hate her. Pinky works her ass off, and she understands the business of quality, putting money into her product, camera work. I mean, you can say, for everybody who complains, oh, porn stars don't understand the business. Pinky understands it. She is recruited and gotten people into the industry like Naomi Banks, Ebony Mystique, who those are two ladies who you can say are as smart and as intelligent as they come. Yeah. And they swear that Pinky is, on a whole nother level of most people in this industry.
Yeah. Because Pinky, but see, that's the thing. Pinky knew how to market herself. Cherokee Ass knew how to market themselves. So that even if you didn't like the name, you didn't think about it. You feel where I'm coming from? And that's the difference. In the BBW world, Cotton Candy. My wife, Tisha Sweet Candy, she was a legend at one point. These ladies knew how to market themselves so that their persona was bigger than that name. You feel me? A lot of these ladies, you can't even get past the goddamn name. You be like, is that a name you want to use? Because I was taught you want kind of a fictitious government name or a striking name that could stand out or a name that is easy to be Googled. Period. I never forget one chick was called The Butt. I mean, and I'm like, really? The Butt? That's all you can come up with? The Butt? I'm just saying, man. It's to me, like I said, it's a lot of things that got lost when the content creator came in. And when people started being shamed of saying that I'm a porn star and started using the term content creator, it changed the mentality of the game. It changed the mentality of the people coming into the game, and it changed the mentality of how the game moves. Because sometimes when you change the title that governs an industry, you changes the mentality of the people in the industry. For example, you'll never hear a rap artist sit here and say, I'm a content creator. No, I'm a rapper. Even YouTubers say they're YouTubers. You don't ever hear them say I'm a content creator. They say I create content. You get what I'm saying? But us, content creator. Content creator. What you do? I'm a content creator. I remember a time when motherfucker asked me, I do porn, bro. I'm a porn star. Proud of it. These motherfuckers ain't even proud to call themselves porn stars. Miss B. Nasty was one of them. You can never say she was a porn star. If you called her a porn star, she'll cut your ass out on Twitter. No, I'm not. I'm a content creator.
Well, let me ask you this: What do you call a porn star? Because, and trust me, this is something you have also, whether it's sports, whether it's music. It's like, oh, I am a NBA star. Why? Because you play in the NBA? No, you're just an average role player. That's nice. You're great, but you're not a star. Like, name me a star in porn right now. Name me somebody that you can look and go, she's known mainstream, she's known, in porn circles, she is somebody that you could name drop. And you have a hard time picking them. Maybe the closest thing you can think of is
Amanda Thicke.
I wouldn't say she's a star. And I like Amanda Thicke. Like when you back up the day, like Jessie Jane was a porn star. She was on.
You proving my point. You proved my point. Porn stars back in the day was revered. It's just like pro wrestling. There's no big stars anymore. Not like what we came up with. Not like Dusty, not like Rick, not like Macho. You feel me? Not like Jerry the King Lawler. Same thing. Jenna Jameson, Stormy Daniels, Sarah J. She the last of a dying breed, literally. Sarah J. name was like that. You know what I'm saying? Pinky. We talk about Pinky, Cherokee. These girls had an aura about them that made them bigger than life. The porn stars now, they're just regular. Why? Because they're on social media, TikTok, and the IGN. You feel what I'm saying? Why do we reveal?
I feel what you're saying. It's also, I think, a difference in the way that's what companies want.
Yeah.
You look at the UFC, for example. Conor McGregor can do whatever the hell he wants. Yeah. He can decide, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to do this. He is the last UFC star. And he understands his power. And the company understands his power. Mm-hmm. They don't want that.
No.
WWE does not want that. They have that. There's one real pro wrestling star, you could say, and that's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And he holds that company at times hostage. And I think that's what people see. Like, all right, we can make money without having stars. We don't need a big star.
Think about it. I don't even consider Roman Reigns a big star. The only way we care about Roman Reigns is because the storyline they're doing right now. That would make him big. The storyline. Brock don't need a storyline. He's big. Like, to me, the last big star in wrestling was The Rock and Stone Cold. And John Cena. John Cena's the last one. Because he was bigger than life. I love me some John Cena. Period.
And you could have Brock Lesnar. Because he, as I said,
Brock Lesnar.
He is that he's a rare
that
breed.
whole OVW class was the last ones. If you want to be honest, think about it. Batista, Randy Orton, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. You know what I'm saying? I thought Shelton Benjamin was going to be one, but he never made it. Which I'm shocked about that. He killed it in Japan when he was in Japan. But same thing with porn. It's kind of like when we got to this era, I said slowly things happen to devalue the porn star to where now being a porn star, you're no longer bigger than life. You're just average. Part of that is because so many people are doing it now. It's kind of like you just lost in the shuffle. Think about boxing. Who's the big star in boxing now? And mind you, we came up with Mike Tyson, Vander Holyfield. Larry Holmes. You know what I'm saying? Think about the middleweights. Sugar Ray Leonard, Hagler, Hearns. You know what I'm saying? All them, they were bigger than life. Now these boxers, you can just, you can switch them in and out, no problem. When was the last big fight? The biggest fight we done had was who? What? Tyson Fury and
you had a pretty big fight, I would say, back in April. Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
And look, it's a different, that's because of Tank Davis is very big in the hip hop NFL world. He is this 5'5" knockout artist who knocks people out. Ryan Garcia, the Instagram, TikTok, Twitter kid who looks like a matinee model.
Yeah.
So there is, that's the new breed. It's no longer guys who just fight. You had to have personality. You had to hit social media.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys can do it, and they did a great job. There's other guys having trouble now.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of like, even to me, like I said, like even with Richard Mann, he's the last, to me, big time male porn star that's bigger than life to a certain extent. You know, and even he's now been somewhat normalized. See, that's why I said when porn lost its taboo, we lost our big stars. Because that would make the big stars. Taboo. You feel me? Even when I look at the AVNs, you look at the AVNs back in the day to now, ain't the same. AVNs back in the day was like damn near the Oscars. Now, I don't know what you call it. Shit. It's just another event. Not a happening, just another event. You know, period. And then what I said, I was like, your industry is based off of how big is your stars. Like you just said, to me, a porn star, what made a porn star back in the day doesn't make a porn star today. Because it's too easy to get in the business and it's too easy to work with established porn stars. Because you can have a girl who never worked with a major company, but she done shot with every major male talent there is to shoot with. That never happened before until this era. Because you couldn't get to a Prince Joshua unless you was in the company or you was in the agency. You couldn't get to a Richard Mann unless you was in a company or agency. You couldn't get to Lexington Steele unless you went to Hollywood. You feel where I'm coming from? So when that changed, porn stars lost their allure. They lost their big time. Straight up. Trust me, I done watched this game change from filming with a handy cam to filming with your phone. And then adding to AI is coming into the mix, is really about to get interesting now.
It will be, but look, you can't, as much as we crap on, there are some good things. I mean, you said the porn industry is now more wide open. So you're having more diversity. You're having more women who would not get the time of day, who now can be a big thing. I mean, it's because let's face it, for years it used to be, well, once you got old,
you done.
And I'm saying like 40 years old, they shoved you out of porn.
You hit your 30. You hit 25, you were done.
And now you have people like Reagan Fox, like Sherry DeVille, like Andy James, Ava Devine, Sarah J., who are, as you said, the big stars. And they're all in their 40s. So there are pros and cons. I do think,
I'm glad that this happened because it put the power back in our hands, the content creator. And it also enabled females to have more ways to make money in the business than ever before. You know, period. Where they ain't got to go to escorting. They can do webcam. They can do custom videos. They can do dick ratings. So now women can become more business oriented in this business than before. Because even from talking to Kelly Richards, she was like, we had to go to the agencies because that's how we got work. That's how we made our money. There wasn't no custom videos like that. You know, period. And you got laughed at if you actually did get a clips for sale or a Southern Charms account. You know, period. Because back then they said you wasn't a real porn star unless you had a standalone site, a .com. You know, so that's why I said it's good. Don't get it twisted, smokers. There's good with this era because it enabled ladies, like he said, that didn't have a chance, guys that didn't have a chance, to make money. But the flip side of it is, because it's so easy to get in, it's easier for wolves to get into the flock and cause problems. Because, perfect example, there's been more work stoppages than ever before. I have never seen it where there's been 5 work stoppages in a year. At best, it might have been 1 every 2 years. Now you have 5 a year, period. Because porn stars understood back in the day, we kind of got to, not be so crazy offset. You feel me? Now, shit, you can't even trust a motherfucker to walk up on the set with a clean test to be clean, even though they just got tested. Because they might have got their test done Monday, then fuck something on Tuesday and ready to go on set Wednesday to shoot. And what they done fucked on Tuesday wasn't even tested, and they fucked raw. So, but to me, like I said again, if it wasn't for this creation era, I wouldn't have had a chance. Because I wasn't going to go to Hollywood. Ain't no fucking way I'm going to make it out to Hollywood. I ain't had the money to go to California. So I became an independent. And I made it happen here in North Carolina. If it wasn't for the independent sector, I wouldn't have had a chance. So I'm not knocking content creators. But I do knock content creators that don't do the business the right way. I don't give a fuck about that. There ain't no excuse for that shit. Because at the end
I
of the
agree
day,
with that, but there's always been wolves. Let's say, Ron Jeremy has been one of the biggest, supposedly one of the worst, abusers, and for years he was in the industry. So
yeah,
I get. Look, we all like to say back in the good old days. Well, the good old days sometimes wasn't the good old days. There were problems.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. What was it? Max? I can't think his name. Max something. He's
Max Hardcore.
Yeah, he's still in prison. Shooting girl 17, pretending that, and then faking the 2257-mile release form like they were 18 when it was time for him to release the footage. Period. That's why I said it always been shady characters in porn. Always. That have never changed. Period. You always gonna have fans that are gonna be shady. So that's always gonna be that negative stigma there. Period. But because OnlyFans became hot, because it became so easy to get into the business, it shaped the core of the business because, like, for example, you never had to give up that much paperwork to get an account. You feel me? You didn't have to give up that much paperwork. That started because more people was getting in the industry. See, that's why I said when the industry become more saturated, it changed the industry. And it also scares CC Bill, it scares the Visa, MasterCard, and all that shit because they were under the impression that we were safeguarding better. When they started seeing the guards they want no guards at the gate, that's when they got scared and put the pressure on these sites to be like, y'all need to police better. Y'all need to police better. Y'all need to police better. Because it was too easy for motherfuckers to put shit online. You feel me? Because even when they were talking about the girl that was raped, the rape videos, yeah, the dude that posted it was never verified. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I said when the game became more saturated, it did change the game because the establishment didn't see gatekeeping anymore, which in turn made them quiver and make them say, I don't know if we want to keep attaching ourselves to this shit because apparently y'all don't give a fuck no more.
So how do you fix it? We're putting you in charge. We're going to put you as let's say, the king of the porn industry. How would you fix this industry for the better?
You can't. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. The only way is like this. The only way it's going to change if more people start shooting in a cinematic type situation. If they treat it as if you was a studio unto yourself. Stop doing the cell phone shit. Shoot for quality, not quantity. That's the problem. You feel me? Because we shot for quality. We promoted for quality, not quantity. You get what I'm saying? Because, for example, you don't see a lot of role play. You don't see a lot of girls that sit here and actually go through finding a professional photographer and take professional fucking pics. They're too busy taking selfies. You feel me? That's what's got to change. But you can't change it because we're a slave to going viral. We're a slave to TikTok. We're a slave to the internet. We're a slave to the algorithm. You feel me? You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. The only thing you can do is more people have to be an Ebony Mystique. More people has to be a Missy Stone. You feel me? I know a lot of people felt some type of way that now that Miss B Nasty is looking to shoot with a major company. You get what I'm saying? Because before she was telling girls, you don't need to fuck nobody on camera. You can just use a dildo. She even said one time, I'm looking for a porn dick that's not in porn. To me, you trying to say that you want content you ain't got to pay for, nor do you have to give anybody content for. You know, period. We have to start respecting the porn stars, not the influencers and the IG models. You feel me? Because if you ask a female right now, who's your favorite porn star? She might tell you an IG model. You get what I'm saying? You ask me who is my favorite porn star? Janet Jackman, Junior St. Jocks, Shawn Michael, Prince Joshua, Lexington Steele. You get where I'm coming from? You know, period. For us to fix it, more people need to act like they're porn stars. Even though you may not be one, you move as one. And less people, especially the females, because let's keep it 100, the females control this. They're the stars. They're the faces of this. They dictate this. If you have more females acting like porn stars, like the Ava Devines, like the Missy Stones, like the Anna Foxes, like the Ebony Mystiques, you'll see a turn. You feel what I'm saying? But until that happens, because they're not looking up, put it this way. I don't know if you noticed this, but as a podcaster, it used to be a time when people talk about the porn business, they name Pinky, they name Cherokee. Now, guess who they talk about? Miss B Nasty. She's not a porn star. She's about to become one, but she's not one. But they talk about her and put her on a pedestal as if she is like that of a Missy Stone. That has to change. You feel what I'm coming from? In order for the game to change, the people at the top have to change it by how they move. We need a Ebony Mystique to get on some of these podcasts. We need a Missy Stone. Because, like, for example, you know the podcast 95 South with DC Fly and all them? They had Miss B Nasty on there. But they will never have a Missy Stone on there. You want to know why? Miss B Nasty is a content creator. Missy Stone's a porn star. My sponsors don't want a porn star on our podcast. But we don't mind having an OnlyFans girl on our podcast. They made an award for Miss B Nasty. OnlyFans Girl of the Year. Really? That's the equivalent of when, hold up. That's the equivalent of when Dusty Rhodes made the U.S. tag team titles for the Midnight Express. Look, we can't give you the world title right now, but to make sure that y'all be hot, we're going to give you these U.S. tag titles to time for y'all to go get the Rock and Roll Express. That equivalent of what they're doing now. You legitimized her. And see, that's the point. You legitimize her, and guess who else was in that category? Missy Stone. So you basically said Missy Stone's an OnlyFans girl. You have no other OnlyFans girl up for nomination. She's the only OnlyFans girl for nomination. You had Anna Fox, Missy Stone, who else? Kiara Dior. She beat out Missy Stone for that award, which makes sense because she's known for OnlyFans. But think about what you just did. You just devalued Missy Stone, the biggest star in our business, by putting her in a fucking clips category. You feel where I'm coming from?
I hear where you're coming from. I get it. Like it's probably also easier to reach a Miss B Nasty than a Misty Stone. I mean, and that's always gonna be trouble. It's you want to book people from certain things. It's good luck. It's tough to do that with going through agents, going through companies, going through managers, going through PR companies. If you don't know who, if you're not on a good name basis, some of these people, it's tough.
Yeah.
Like there's probably certain publicists you don't want to deal with. Just like there's certain publicists I don't like dealing with. There's certain publicists I love dealing with, like Rising Star PR, like Star Factory, like Brian Gross, who I asked for. I need a guest, and people, they'll get me the people. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But that goes
shout out to Brian Gross, man. Good dude, man. I love him.
But you ask a lot of people about, hey, why don't more WWE stars or AEW stars get on other podcasts? Well, ask what love podcasts hosts I know. It's you can't say anything bad about either because hey, guess what?
Yeah, because
they'll blackball you. They won't do anything.
Yeah, because the podcasts that get the WWE podcasters, the podcasts that get the WWE guys, or the guys that are entrenched with the WWE, like Hawani, Paul Rosenberg. What's the other dude with the beard that be on the pre shows?
Just Roberts, yes.
Yeah, him. Yeah, they all are kissing Vince McMahon's ass. So Vince McMahon's going to send them their way. Same thing with AEW. Period. Once you entrench with that company, they're going to feed you. But me and you, we ain't going to get them motherfuckers. Hell no. And I tried to get some wrestlers. Trust and believe you. I want to interview a wrestler, damn it. Oh, man. So, shoot. But we at the end of this one because I got another show I got to do. And I really enjoyed you, Mark. I need you to come back to the podcast. I want to come on your podcast one day, So with that being said,
we gotta make that happen one of these days. We definitely gotta make that happen.
Most definitely. And you definitely coming back on this one. So with that being said, tell everybody where they can find your podcast and go listen to it.
Well, you can listen. We're on Full Swap Radio once again on only Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. Pacific time, 1 a.m. Eastern time. You can also go to my Twitter handle, which will have everything, all the links to my YouTube page for the videos, to the Spotify channel for the audio. That is twitter.com/afterhoursxcast. They also have the Instagram page and a Reddit page. So, yeah, we are all over the place. And as I said, we get some big things coming the rest of the week. We got C-Style tomorrow with Fallon West. We're definitely going to be talking about her creative stuff, including she shooting out of Walmart. No sex, but just little teasers and how very fun she has. And Friday, Goddess Michelle Rain, all the way from Wisconsin, she'll be joining the show. We're excited about having her. But once again, I enjoyed being on the show. And well, as I said, we gotta get Smoke This over here on our show one of these days.
Almost definitely. And for my smokers, if you love my podcast, check out his. You'll love his too, people, because he got some good shit and what have you. And also, don't forget, subscribe to the Premium Smoke Room. $4.99 a month. The best smoke is always the Premium Smoke. 5 premium podcasts for you to enjoy. And we're going to get him on one of them for sure also. So you're going to hear him again on my podcast, and I will be on his. And I love talking to fellow podcasters, man, because, you know what I'm saying, we got to stick together, man.
I hear you. Trust me. I hear you.
Genre to the top, baby. Goes down.
As I said, it's a pleasure to be on your show, and I'm looking forward to doing it once more time soon.
No doubt. And we definitely going to make it happen. So with that being said, people, you know how we end these things all day, every day. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke this over. Say goodbye to him, man.
Take care, everybody. Pleasure. Play once again. Pleasure to be on to Smoke This Over.